several reasons why you may want to consider this new religion. It stands for organic, natural living. In other words, we like things that come from nature, from the earth, that we can co-create with. We can cultivate that, we can tend those things, we can care for it. We don't like things that come from the factories, especially if we're going to eat them. We do not use those things. I've stated this before. I had a Kaiboa channel, I had Peter-Appleseed, I promote raw, healthy living. Vegetarian also is recommended. Vegetarianism is not required because I feel that there are times where you, especially with children, that there may be some meat eating, but it's very minimal and it's moderation, and it can go for a short period of time. We mostly promote the vegetarian diet. We promote direct harvesting, in other words, growing your own. That's a very important part. It's not just like, hey, let me live this yuppie lifestyle. I have like a corporate executive job and I'll go shopping to the Whole Foods, and pay $250 a week and get all my little chintzy things, my organics in the box and the cylinder. No, we like the things directly, wash them off, prepare them fresh, self-harvested. Do it as a group, do it as a community agriculture, CSA, do it as WWOOF, Willing Workers on Organic Farms. I know, having said all this, just at the front, I'm already canceling out more than half the people that are watching this, but if you are still there with me, I'm going to get into other points, okay? But I'm just going to delineate from the negative side of it and tell you what we're not into. Therefore, with that natural side, the opposite of it says that we don't want to eat anything processed, anything artificial, anything questionable. GMOs are definitely out of it, RGBH, all those types of things that affect the animals, the milk products, anything that's overly processed, anything that's with sugar in it. And if you go through a supermarket these days, you'll actually find that 90% of everything that is packaged, and I'm not talking about the produce section, that's the only one that you're not talking about, or also the meat and seafood section. But if the rest of the store is considered the groceries and all the items, about 90%, everything contains sugar. Look at the ingredients, read the label, read the fine print. We don't want to do anything with sugar. Sugar is to be used in its most raw, non-processed form, not granulated, not bleached, not refined, not crystallized, because that's poison. Okay, we don't do anything with drugs. Anything that comes out of a factory or a pharmaceutical, we don't do. Okay, if you're on any meds, or if you got to take something for your depression or this and that, you must get off of it, or you are not going to be able to understand this religion, and you cannot practice it. We have to be very strict about that. Now, this is nothing new. I've been saying this for years. Some of you keep watching my videos. You're on that. Okay, fine. You can still watch my videos. I really don't care, because I have to agree to disagree. But there are rules about getting into the religion itself. The videos and the channels here is not a religion. We're owned by a corporation. I have to do business with them just like you do. You're doing business by being a consumer of it. I'm a producer of it. But that's not the religion. So I don't want anybody to be a little bit, confused on what the divisions are here. Now, aside from the natural versus the artificial, let's talk about the way you deal with your body, not just the medication, the substances. Let's talk about the exercise. This religion's about self-care. It's about keeping healthy, okay? Fit as much as you can. Actually, a little bit of extra layer, or what they call baby fat or something like that. That's okay. I'm not really into everyone has to be thin, everyone has to be muscular, and also from the artificial point of view, make sure that you understand no one's going to be on steroids. That's cheating. That's not really, it's not your natural body. There's natural things you can take if you want more muscle or more physical brawn and brute strength. There is. We can talk about that stuff, but nothing artificial. No roids, no juicing. The other kind of juicing, though, fruit juices, fresh, raw, organic. So when it comes to like exercise, I'm talking about moving, getting the body going, being motivated. That comes from within. That comes from the mind. So we need that. We have to have that. We don't want anyone lazy, unhealthy. That's not what the religion's about. Okay? But on the other hand, we're not like the ancient Greek, Olympic, overly ideal. We don't do that. We don't do that. We understand that what's more important is the mind and the spirit that's above it, the unseen, the ineffable, the part that's enigmatic. We elevate that above it. We say the body, the physical part, is just an emanation of it. It just manifests from this higher level of true existence. That's reality. So having said that, though, the body gives you an indication of what's within, what is not being seen. So if it's an unhealthy body, lazy, slothful, gluttonous, that shows that there's problems in the mind. Okay, so you've got to take care of that. There is a period where you will be a probate. You can get into the religion and show that you're working on those things. But the moment that you show you're not working on those things, you're not cut out for the religion. Okay, this is not a religion where I want to put out these ideas and get like the majority of humankind in here. It's not like that. We are going to be the minority for a long time, at least 100 years. We're going to be the minority. Okay, having said that, we still have quality to be concerned about. It's for a quality lifestyle. So if you're that smart, if you're that willful, if you're that caring about life itself, your own and others, the ones that are around you, your group, what you belong to, then this religion's for you. This religion is absolutely for you. No other religion will do all the things that I just described in 7.5 minutes? None of the religions, none of the major religions talk about this stuff at all. So there's something for you to consider. This really is new, and this really is a very exciting thing to be putting out there. So even if you don't like it, share it with your friends. Have a joke about it. Why don't you make fun of it? And see that eventually someone's going to take it serious. They're going to wake up one day after having a dream or some kind of realization. They're going to be like, hey, that's starting to make a lot of sense as a religion. I want to belong to something like that. We got to talk about sexuality, okay? That's controversial, okay? We believe in this religion that sex is for procreation. Not everyone has to have a child, but having a child is an important, very aware thing of human experience. We need to be very aware of what's going on. It's not to be taken lightly, ever, ever, ever. We believe that two people must come together and have a child that's within the religion. It's no good in having one parent not in the religion. So, having said that, that's going to be difficult. I welcome couples coming in. I welcome singles, and if you meet each other within the religion, then that's the ideal. It becomes a special union. Now, when the child is going to be created, it has to be supported by the community. The parents are going to do the raising of the children because it's natural and based on the responsibility it comes to the male and female soul. We do not infringe on that. We only do whatever we can to support it, advise it, and have it stay within the bounds of the other rules of the religion. We are never going to have to take away a child like they do in secular society. Many states and governments, they run a corrupt unholy business of stealing children. There are also cults and other religions where they swap out children, and it's like musical chairs. Who's your daddy? We don't go for that. We don't go for that. I've got children, so I can tell you from experience how I learned about all that. Now, as far as monogamy and all that, there's stuff that I'm really not going to get into right here. But what I want to say about sex itself is also as big of a thing, as significant of an issue as having children, which is the result of sex. Just having sexual relations in itself is not to be taken lightly. We do not allow casual sex. We do not allow one-night stands. This is not about materialism, hedonism, getting laid. Hey, you heard that in a lot of other religions too, right? Okay, well, so we have something in common. We have morals. That's generally what it's called, morality. Let's talk about things, because I think we said enough about sexuality, although I might want to touch on homosexuality, okay? Homosexuality, we are not taking an absolute stance against it. We are not. We do not go to that extent. Okay? Now, having said that, it leaves a lot of room for discussion, but that's all we're going to start with at this point. Now, when it comes to education, education is very important to us. We allow, from our religion, children and also any adults who are still learning, and that means everybody, to go into your random public or private, state-run, whatever kind of educational institution, but with the mindset that we've got to be very careful. There will be a manual on how to deal with all kind of information streams, all kind of knowledge bases, and how it's going to have to stack up against the tenets of the religion. So we are lifelong learners. We promote that. We are a knowledge-based group. The philosophy is to learn the most, the better. It's not an ignorant religion, not a religion of stupidity, which I can't really say for a lot of the other religions. Our religion is for exercising the mind. The more knowledge and the more understanding that we have of things in the world, the better we are able to cope with it and actually deserve our continued existence. Ignorant people do not deserve to live, okay? Just to put it bluntly. They're the cause of most of the problems on the planet, and we are not going to be part of it anymore, okay? This is a separation. That's why I created the religion, is to get us out of it. Just like when Moses called on the Exodus. I have some problems with Moses, some problems with early formative points about Judaism, but I do take many of the points and the teachings and the story of it itself to heart. I do take it and use it for comparison at the very least. So as I say, Exodus is an important concept. We are in Exodus. We need to come out, because as you can see already, just in 13 and a half minutes or so, I've given you a lot of things that have said, well, I can't even go to the supermarket now. I can't even go to school and trust in it now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you already heard that in your life before you connected this with my religion, then you know what time it is. Enough said. What does it have to do with other religions? I already made a video where I said anyone can get in here, even if you're in another religion. We do not demand that you come from a status of being devoid of religious practice. We do accept anyone. It can be overlapping, and that will be fine, because we coexist with any previous beliefs as long as there's not some outright contradiction or conflict which is going to do for you, and we can just discuss that. Everything's on a case-by-case basis, because we're all unique. We all come from a unique background. But we do promote meditation and silence as a very important ritual if you want to call it that. It is a spiritual practice where you're going to go within and you're going to allow the inner mind to settle, and the higher ideas, the higher presence, the higher wisdom to come from within and to go into the mind and then filter outwards to emanate and permeate the body. So these are the things that will really affect the entire being, and the holiness or the goodness shines. It shines and it can show. Beauty's only skin deep, they say. Well, it's kind of a twisting of what's really going on. Beauty comes from within. It emanates, it shines from the soul. That's where true beauty is. You can't have a cosmetic beauty. And by the way, I should have said this in the beginning, because we don't allow all kinds of ridiculous artificial makeup. We don't like to have women going around with everything caked on, like paint on your face like a clown. Look at me. I don't wear any makeup at all. Never have. Look, a little eyeliner, a little bit of color, maybe some gloss, or what do you call it stuff? The lip. See, I don't even use it. Look at my lips. What do I need that for? Unless you're in like elements or some kind of environment with. In fact, I am. I'm in a desert. What do I need that for? See, the beauty and the healthiness comes from within. I'm proof in the pudding. What more do you want? Okay. So having said that, we do not promote Revlon or Avon, whatever one. These are not the companies that we support. What companies do we support? Who do we recommend that you have to buy from? Actually, when it comes down to it, ultimately, nobody. Only our own companies. Or if we buy into a company and do some kind of a takeover or a conversion of the company, which is going to happen. So we'll have to start with the basics, like food companies. I have some things already getting going. I'm not going to mention that here, too many specific details. What kind of products, what kind of things like for the home, basics like bedding and things like that. Products, purifying water, purifying air, these are the things that we really need to consider, and these are the things we're going to promote and support. I did make a video about that already, the important principle about water and air, and I'm going to leave you with that, but I'm going to add a third thing, which is going to be the soil. Soil is where all of our plants come from. It's the ground that we walk on. It's the earth itself. It's the body, the skin of the planet that we have to use as a home. It's the only one we've got right now. We're not expecting to be saved or beamed up. That's not what this religion's about. Thank you very much. I think you might have been wondering. We believe in the possibility of extraterrestrials. We also believe that the planet has a lot of things that are non-human, non-seen, not understood, and we have to deal with that first before thinking that they're extraterrestrial. The stuff here terrestrially is enough of a mystery. And we want to get along with all that, but we also want to know that we are in dominion of it. This is our domain. This religion sees the planet as being our domain, and we must treat it with respect and care, but also a rulership. It's like dealing with a mad dog, a dog that you can't trust. It's basically all of them. And I don't care about your owner-pet kind of relationships. I'm talking with everyone in the public. You can't just be around with a dog and think it's safe. Like, here comes a little child. No. You got to deal with it as rulership. You got to let the dog know who is the boss. So I think we're going to close with that. I talked about the soil. The soil is sacred. You've got to keep it pure and clean, rich, fertile, and abundantly giving, nourishing soil. It's not just dirt. Don't just put it down. Dirt, soil, ash, sand, clay. It's very important. We treat it with reverence. This is our like pagan side, our more coming back around to our natural side. Water, air, and the soil, where all of our plants, our garden, our paradise is rooted upon this. It's an integral part of the entire system. Our religion worships these things. Before I close, though, we're going to talk about spirit, which is an unseen thing, and we worship it in the utmost. The one that put me here, the one that sent me to you to serve you and to give you this religion, and make it no two ways about it, don't be surprised, there is someone, the one, who sent me to talk to you, to give you this, to gather you together, that you can count on. When you're in a tight spot, or where you come into confusion, or if you're being harassed, or being questioned, attacked, persecuted, whatever it might be, you just go within and you realize this. There is a power beyond anything else in the planet. Government, culture, drug, war, nuclear bomb, chemical warfare, WMD, I don't care. It doesn't stand up to the force of the one that sent me to you. Rest assured, that's why I'm doing this. And it's going to be tested out. So if you want to be in on the big show, then you join up. We're going to be tested, and we're going to be victorious. I already have been tested. I'm going to tell you stories of transparency about the founder. I'm going to give you the most important points and lay it out for you. There you go. Worship the one, the ultimate one, unseen. That's where we come from. Amen. So be it. Make your comments. Favorite this. Send it out. Share with all your friends. And make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube is flawed. You can't trust them completely. Thanks.